Oh, hello. What is the one lie that you're telling yourself that is keeping you stuck? Well, we all lie to ourselves a lot, but this one's really juicy. And it was thanks to a mentor that I was working with to reflect that back to me on how I was keeping myself really stuck, and letting life, many of the things that I desired in life, pass me by because I was swallowing this lie. And when it's when you choose to opt out of it, magical things start to occur. You start to think differently. You start to see opportunity to create what it is that you desire. And it's such a powerful one. So, what is it? It is, I can't afford it. So, this is a lie. I can't afford it is a lie. And I know right now, probably your logical mind is going high alert, screaming all of the reasons why this isn't true. And, lucky for some, and it's different for me, and I'm different. I've got kids, I've, come from this background. I earn however much money in my job, and I can't afford the things that I really want. This is one of the most disempowering lies that we tell ourselves, because what happens when you release that lie? What happens when you release the story that you can't afford something? Suddenly it becomes very clear what's actually a priority to you. Hi, thanks for watching. Give me some hearts, send me some likes, send me any questions or anything that comes up for you while you're watching this. When we release the lie that we can't afford it, then we see, okay, so actually what is my priority? Because whatever money I do have, I spend on my priorities. Obviously, shelter, food, all of those things. What are the next things that you're spending money on? What are your next priorities after, your basic needs being met? And that really is a good reflection of what's a priority for you, what you're really committed to, what you want to create, and what you want to change in your life. And let's say you are attached to the illusion that you have a fixed income. Yes, some people have a fixed income, but we always have the power to be resourceful. And this is the most empowering story that has completely changed my life and completely changes the lives of my clients, which is when you give yourself permission to release the story that you can't afford it and to take on the story that you have the power to create resources for whatever it is that you want. And remember, wealth is about resources. And it's not just about money, it's about time, it's about energy, it's about inspiration, creativity. And you have all of those things in abundance. You have all of those things just as much as the next person. So it's really down to your priority and how you're using them. When we reflect on that, then we make it really clear to ourselves what we're available for and what we're not available for. Because look at where you're spending your resources and look at the results that you're creating with your resources. And if you want something different, you simply change the way you're spending your resources. So, if there's something that you really desire or something has come to your attention that you really, is a genuine desire for you and it's pulling to you and it appeals to you, but up pops the story, I can't afford it. Look what's underneath that. Because most of the time what's underneath that is the fear of change, is the fear of you actually getting what you want. And there's a reason why that thing is calling to you, right? I believe that whenever we have a desire, it's a desire for a reason. Whenever we're attracted or pulled by something, then there's something there for us. There's a lesson, there's a transformation that we particularly desire to create. So we get to take a leap of faith and to tap into all of the resources that we do have available in order to create that opportunity for ourselves. So think about that. Maybe there's one thing that you really desire that you've been thinking about, and maybe you've attached the idea of, oh, I can't afford it. And really look at what's underneath that. What is the payoff for you not having that thing? Where do you stay when you don't have that thing? And it's probably you're still in the same place. It's probably, you're still playing a little bit small. You're not actually moving into fear to create the thing that's calling to you. And, all of those things are scary. So I can't afford it is a really, really convenient lie that we tell ourselves in order to stay in the same place. And when we release that story, when we literally stop allowing those words to come out of our mouths, what happens is we start to see opportunity, we start to create solutions, we start to be really much more resourceful, and we start to reprioritize. And we get to actually acknowledge the things that we desire, and we get to give those things to ourselves. We get to say, if I really desire this thing and I really value myself and I really acknowledge my desires and I trust that when I'm being pulled towards something, that it's meant for me, that it's right for me, and that it'll be amazing for me, then I get to shift around my resources in order to create a solution to create that thing for myself. So it's a combination of self-trust, it's a combination of self-worth and self-value, and actually recognizing that we have the capacity to create what it is that we desire and giving ourselves permission to do that. And it's really about shifting into faith and shifting into possibility, being solution focused instead of problem focused. And this was completely transformational for me when I finally stopped allowing the words "I can't afford it" to come out of my mouth, because it made me, I stopped making excuses and I actually started owning up to the things that were a choice for me. So if somebody, offered me an opportunity, instead of saying I can't afford it, I would really have to reflect, like, is this a genuine desire for me? And is it a genuine priority for me? And if I was going to say no to that thing, then I got to speak my truth and say, that's actually not a priority for me at the moment. Or I got to say, actually, I recognize this is really a priority for me. And then I get to ask myself, well, how do I create the resources for it? And so often, what that conversation led to is me actually being able to create the opportunity for myself instead of just writing it off with, I can't afford it. And, I would step in faith and be focused more on my creative potential and my ability to create a result. And even that in itself is completely transformational. It has opened so many more doors for me. It has opened so much more cash flow for me, which, by the way, we're going to be talking more about in Cash Flow for Creatives workshop tonight. So if you haven't already signed up for that, the link is in my bio in Instagram, and I'm going to pop the link here on the video. Hi, Sarah. How are you? So, it's all of these small inner tweaks in the inner conversation that we're having with ourselves, particularly around money, particularly around opportunity and what we think is possible, and really what we're giving ourselves permission to move into. Because any kind of excuse or reasoning that we're coming up with is always disguising fear. It's always disguising fear. And yes, it can be really triggering. Yes, there's going to be a shit ton of anxiety when you start moving into that. But that's the nature of growth. That's the nature of transformation. And the way you navigate that more smoothly is by doing it with support, is by inviting other people into the process. So many women I see trying to do this alone, trying to get over their scarcity mindset, trying to, grow a business, trying to move into a different career, raise like really amazing, life-changing projects, and then thinking, or build really, really profoundly inspirational careers, and thinking that, oh, there's something wrong with me because I haven't figured it out alone. It's so important to have support, to have mentorship, to have somebody there to reflect back to you, like you're bullshitting yourself about what you're really capable of. So I'm throwing in, so this workshop this evening is with Freya Savage. She's a financial advisor. She's got tons of experience in money management. So we're joining forces to look at money mindset, look at cash flow management strategies for creative people to open you up to consistent action that creates cash flow, to basically, heal your relationship with money. And we're also doing some one-on-one time. So we'll help you to create an action plan to start getting momentum for some more cash to flow into your life, and always in a way that's fun and fulfilling and aligned for you. And whatever is the next best step, the path of least resistance. That is how I work in helping people transition to unfulfilling ways of creating money to creatively fulfilling ways of making money and living a life and a schedule and a business and a career that feels really fun and exciting. So it's only $99, which is an absolute steal. I rarely offer anything for this price anymore. So if this is something that's calling you, click the link below and sign up for the workshop. It's tonight at 7 p.m. EST. And just notice when the "I can't afford it" is popping up in your head. And then, really asking yourself, is this a priority? Is this not a priority? Where am I not honoring and valuing myself by allowing myself to create possibility for the things that are true desires and a genuine priority for me? Where am I denying myself, or where am I simply, not actually speaking up for myself and maybe negotiating a boundary and stop giving away? When you start to get into the, deeply understanding the workings of this relationship with your money, it's amazing how that illuminates the ways that you're doing it with your energy, with your time, with your attention, with the value that you're giving in the world, with the boundaries that you're navigating. And it's such a huge topic, especially for creatives, especially for healers, especially for women, coaches, artists. And it takes constant work, constant navigation, that constant unpacking of the really the long list of lies that we tell ourselves about why we're not worthy of earning the money that we desire, why it's not possible for us to do the work that we're really passionate about, why, whatever the top excuses are for you, that are simply reflections of beliefs that you've taken on about yourself, about you not being accepted, you not being, loved and celebrated for who you are in all of your uniqueness. So if this is resonating with you, please send me some hearts, send me some likes, let me know if you watch the replay, and I will look forward to seeing you at Cashflow for Creatives this evening. Sending you so much love. Bye.